let us discuss the Stirling cycle. So last 4 cycles, what we have discussed is Carnot cycle, Otto cycle, diesel cycle, dual combustion cycle. In the previous session, we were discussed regarding the dual combustion cycle. It is a combination of both Otto and as well as diesel cycle, which in turn gives you the maximum efficiency and problems we have solved on the dual combustion cycle. Next is a Stirling cycle. Now all the 4 cycles, what you have seen, these are all interlinked and can be understood very easily. But one of the cycle which is not interlinked with all the 4 cycles, it is differently working in condition, is called Stirling cycle. So first let us understand what is Stirling cycle. Now before going to depth with the PV diagram and TS diagram for a Stirling cycle, what are the Stirling cycle it contains? See, the Stirling cycle mainly contains a cylinder, air as a working fluid, and heat reservoir. One more is a regenerator. Very important to know is the 2 other devices which is attached to the cylinder is heat reservoir and regenerator. If you come to know the working condition of heat reservoir and regenerator, then it will be easier for us to understand the Stirling cycle. So what is heat reservoir? What is regenerator? As the name itself it says, heat reservoir is a big capacitated one device that reserves the heat itself and supplies the heat whenever it is required. That is called heat reservoir. But I think usually you have not come across with a regenerator. That regenerator is being explained separately over here how it works. Check out here. This regenerator has 2 compartments. One compartment is completely with water, another compartment is with the air. So this regenerator at the base, it contains a furnace. Now what happens during the working condition of regenerator? So to understand this regenerator concept, you come over here, check out the regenerator points. The regenerator has a 2 points, point 1 and point 2. During compression process, piston brings the air and makes it to flow over the second condition. Means what happens during the movement of a piston, that is especially during compression process, the air gets compressed and this air passes through the second pipe towards to the regenerator, and there some process occurs. After that process, it comes back to the 1, and meanwhile during suction stroke, the air comes into the cylinder. Before filling up into the cylinder, it goes into the first pipe through that regenerator and comes out to the second condition. Means it's a reversible device, so it can go from the exit, come out from the inlet, or usually go from the inlet and come out from the exit. So this device is a reversible device. Now how it works? This working condition is completely understood in this format. So if you want, please write down this diagram, because nowhere in the books that explains what is regenerator. Nowhere in any of the book you cannot see the regenerator working condition. So to perfectly understand the process, you should know the regenerator diagram. Now there are 2 compartments, as I said earlier. The first compartment has a coil, willed coil. That coil contains cold water. This cold water flow inside that coil comes out, and meanwhile this 2 compartment is segregated and separated by wire mesh. So below that or beneath that wire mesh there is a air. This air comes inside. Now for this complete arrangement, so there is this complete arrangement is kept above the furnace. This air not only goes inside, it also comes outside in this direction. So not only the one port for an air is given, there is one more port. You can observe here. For air, there is a one more port, that is first port. The first port and second port is this. The first port, if air comes, goes out from the second port. The same in the meanwhile, if the air goes from the second port, comes out from the first port. So this can be reversed. If you want it from 1 to 2, it is possible. If you want it from 2 to 1, also it is possible. So what happens during working condition? Check out both heat addition and heat rejection in regenerator depending upon entry of the air in passage 1 to 2. If air enters at 1 and gets out from 2, heat addition takes place. And at constant volume, similarly, if air enters from 2 and comes out from passage 1, heat rejection occurs at constant volume. Hope we have understood. If you have not, let me explain you one more time. See, if air takes inside the regenerator from second port, what happens in this second port or second compartment? It is nearer to the furnace. The main function of the furnace is to add the heat. Now heat addition occurs from the furnace to the air. Now air gets heated up. This heated up air passes above the wire mesh and goes across the coil that contains cold water. Now this hot air goes from the cold water, becomes cold, comes out as cold air. Next, similarly, if air comes from the first port, goes around the cold water coil, becomes cold, then comes into the wire mesh and down into the second compartment, becomes heat, comes out. You may ask, so why it is required to heat up and cool it again, to cool it and heat it up again? See, this is called working condition of regenerator, that is attached over here. Now check out what happens during compression process. There is a hot air. That hot air goes to the second condition, comes out as cold air, from the regenerator from second port, and again it is recycled. Similarly, during exhaust stroke, the cold air comes inside. This cold air passes into regenerator, passes over the second compartment, heated up and comes inside. So this cold air which is passing from first condition becomes hot air in the second condition. If hot air passes in the second condition, becomes cold air in the first condition. So like this way, vice versa process being carried out in the regenerator. Hope you have understood. Now taking this, I will write down the PV diagram and TS diagram. Observe what is first 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is a compression process. See, I cannot tell the compression is a adiabatic here. Why? 1 to 2, what happens? 1 to 2, there is a heat interaction between system and the surrounding. So that's why 1 to 2 is not an adiabatic. Compression process is not an adiabatic. See, observe, the piston will move from second condition to first, or first to second condition. There is a heat interaction between the other devices. So 1 to 2 is not an adiabatic. It is then it is a isothermal process. Isothermal means constant temperature. How is it possible without heat interaction? There is a heat interaction between one device and another device. So, sir, you are telling how it is possible to maintain a constant temperature when there is a heat transfer. Yes, it is possible to maintain a constant temperature even during heat transfer. That is by using heat reservoir. See what happens. This heat reservoir maintains constant temperature during the transfer of heat. So that is what the use of heat reservoir. Now 1 to 2 is a compression process. Now the air passes over the second condition into the regenerator. So now that we call it as isothermal compression. Isothermal compression. Now when it passes through the second condition, heating occurs. So I call it as 2 to 3 process as heat addition. At constant volume. There is no change in volume. Yes. So that's why there is a heat addition at constant volume. Once it goes from second, comes to the top, so there is isothermal expansion. See what happens once it passes to the second condition. So next is a expansion process. So here the regenerator is connected with the cylinder. Here compression and expansion process occurs. Compression, after compression it passes to the second condition, becomes heat, and that is nothing but heat addition occurs. Now expansion process occurs, and that is expansion process. We tell it is not an adiabatic, it is isothermal because of heat reservoir in it. It maintains constant temperature even throughout the heat transfer. So isothermal expansion occurs. Now after that isothermal expansion, the so the air which is gone to the second in the regenerator, it passes to the first condition. Once it comes from first condition, what should happen? There should be a cool of that air. There should be a cool of that air. After cooling, it comes inside the cylinder. So that is called heat rejection. That's what it has shown, heat rejection at constant volume. Very simple process. Only two strokes are here. That is compression and expansion. Other two strokes like suction and exhaust. In suction and exhaust, see what happens? Heat addition, heat rejection occurs at constant volume. So 1 to 2 is a compression. After compression, it passes to the second. In second, heating occurs. Next, expansion occurs. After that, it comes from first. So when it comes from first, the cooling occurs. So cooling air comes into the cylinder head. So this process is called as the Stirling process, and the diagram is PV diagram. So Stirling engine or the engine which usually works with high efficiency. So if you go for any video channels like YouTube, you can check out Stirling fans. How this Stirling fan occurs. So, or how this Stirling fan works. That Stirling fan works by Stirling cycle. So if you give me a time, let me show you how this Stirling engine works. You give me a 2 minutes of time, I will show you how this Stirling fan works. Wait for 2 minutes. Yes, I hope you can watch the video that shows how the Stirling engine works. Now, let me explain you how the Stirling engine works perfectly. As I told, there is a regenerator. That regenerator is connected to the top of the cylinder. Now the piston shape itself is completely different in Stirling cycle. The piston, you can observe there are two pistons over here with the same shaft, connected shaft. One is working piston and other one is displacer piston. This displacer piston and working piston are not alone acts working in the same direction. If displacer piston moves towards backward, working piston moves forward. So like this way, the working of displacer piston and working piston uses the condition of regenerator and works. Now, as I told, the regenerator is connected over here. Now, what happens to the regenerator? This regenerator takes the air into the second, makes it hot and comes out as cold. That cold overcomes over here. So this cold, what happens? This is called heat reservoir. The lamp, what you can see, it is called heat reservoir, maintaining the heat constant, maintaining the temperature constant. This is called as a heat reservoir. What I kept here, what happens usually, the cold air which is coming in over here, this causes a movement of the piston towards right side, movement of the piston towards right side, that results in the piston as expansion process. Once expansion process occurs, see what happens, this is recycled again. After reheating, it passes to second, comes out from one, second comes out from one, resulting in contraction and expansion of the displaced piston. And see, meanwhile there is a displacement of an working piston towards expansion and compression process. Continuously working of Stirling cycle occurs with the same working fluid. Thing is, there is no combustion internal air, so that's why we call it as external combustion engine. So as combustion as the heating up of the fuel or a working fluid takes place and occurs outside, we call it as external combustion engine, EC engine. And meanwhile, the exhaust gas doesn't comes out from here because the same air is recycled, heated, cold and recycled. So that's why there is no exhaust gas or the pollutants coming out from this engine. The main advantage of this is this, the pollutants are avoided. So how this Stirling fan works, let me show you one more time. This is about Stirling engine. What about Stirling fan? Yes, you can observe how Stirling fan works. In the previous decades of years ago, the Stirling fan usually working like this. It doesn't add any current connection, electricity supply. It works for long duration. Observe, this was a Stirling engine. This is a Stirling engine. And this is the output of Stirling engine. This is a heat reservoir, and we had a piston, two types of piston, displacer piston and working piston. This results in rotary motion, and rotary motion results in the wind breeze. So this is called Stirling fans. So many decades, years ago, the Stirling fans were being used. You can observe how it works. Hope you people have understood now the Stirling fan working condition and Stirling engine working condition. See, check out the disassemble of everything part will occurs, and you can observe how the working conditions is. They are keeping the heat reservoir. So this is the Stirling cylinder. Now check out the working condition. The air which is present over here gets heated up and makes the displacer piston to move top. So there is a regenerator. This is a furnace. Heats up. Check out. There is a continuous working of a fan. The lamp work as in a furnace. This is small Stirling engine they are showing up. This is already working. And even more, you can build up the Stirling engine yourself. Check out, this can be built yourself and showcased in the exhibitions. Stirling engines. Simple, all the homemade parts can be used to build up the Stirling engine. So using different scrap parts, we can build up the homemade Stirling engines in our home itself. Check out how it works. Only thing is we have to manually input the heat by using furnace. So hope you have understood the Stirling engine working conditions over now. Yes, that what we explained is showcased over here with the PV and TS diagram. Now, as I told, this engine piston is arrangement is different. It contains displacer piston and also it contains the working piston. I have asked, I will show in the video, it can be understood very easily how it works. Now, let us discuss the TS diagram for the build-up PV diagram. 1 to 2 is isothermal compression. If it is adiabatic, entropy would have remains constant. Now, isothermal compression, so I write on 1 to 2, isothermal compression. So, where temperature remains constant, T1 is equal to T2. What happens to 2 to 3? Heat addition at constant volume. So, heat addition at constant volume, during heat addition, what happens to temperature? It increases. I have shown 2 to 3, which is increasing in temperature. 3 to 4 constant pressure, sorry, constant temperature expansion, we call it as isothermal expansion. So I have shown 3 to 4 over here. Heat addition occur, heat supply occurs. T3 is equal to T4. Meanwhile, heat rejection, the temperature decreases at constant volume. So I have shown 4 to 1 showing over here, where heat addition occurs in two ways, heat rejection occurs in two ways. 2 to 3 is a heat addition at constant volume. Even in isothermal expansion, there is a heat addition. This expansion also heat addition occurs from the first condition. So heat addition occurs at 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. And 4 to 1, 1 to 2, heat rejection. During compression, what happens? There is a heat rejection. This piston takes out the heat into the second condition and makes it cold. So that's why heat rejection occurs in two condition 1 to 2 and 4 to 1. After understanding PV and TS diagram, let us give out the formulas for each and every process. So first, as we discussed, is isothermal compression. You know the isothermal formula. QR, there is a heat rejection. QR is equal to P1 V1 ln of V1 to V1 by V2. So this P1 V1 can be replaced with MRTL, lower temperature, because T1 is the lower temperature. Ln of RC, V1 by V2 is RC. Considering this as equation 1. Next, equation 2 to 3. So equation 2 with the process 2 to 3. Constant volume heat addition. For constant volume, you know the formula MCV T3 minus T2. Considering this as equation 2. Process isothermal expansion in 3 to 4. P3 V3 ln of V4 by V3. So MRT ln of RC. Why it is RC? Because V1 is equal to V4, V2 is equal to V3, where V4 by V3 is V2 by V3. Sorry, V1 by V2. So that's why it is written as RC. MRT, higher temperature, MRTH ln of RC. Next, last one is for constant volume heat rejection, QR MCV T4 minus T1. So considering this all equation 4, so substituting in the thermal efficiency, we get work done by heat supply is equal to 1 minus QR by QS. So QR is for 1 to 2, QR is for 3 to 4. I will neglect QR. See, heat rejection occurs at first and as well as at second. So at fourth. So which one I should consider? I will consider the first one. So why I should neglect the fourth one? I can neglect the fourth one because heat rejection at constant volume will weigh a negligible in amount compared to heat rejection during compression process. The compression process heat rejection is more compared to heat rejection process at constant volume. So that's why I have considered Q1 to 2. Similarly, heat supply, where does the heat supply is more? So observe they have taken 3 to 4. 3 to 4 is what? At expansion process. Yes, heat supply during expansion process is more compared to at constant volume. That's why they have considered these two and neglected other two, as that is negligible in amount. Substituting that 4 and equation 2, we get 1 minus TL by TH. The Carnot cycle engine, Otto cycle engine, and this Stirling cycle engine has the same thermal efficiency formula, 1 minus TL by TH. So this is about your thermal efficiency for Stirling cycle. What happens when I consider both? As I neglected 2 to 3 and 4 to 1, if I consider that 2 to 3 and 4 to 1, what happens to the QR and QS? See, QR will become MRTL ln of C plus MCVT4 minus T1, 1 minus regenerator efficiency. Why we have to minus regenerator efficiency? Because when I consider both condition, constant volume condition, when I consider, so in that constant volume, there will be efficiency done by the regenerator also. So that's why I take out that regenerator efficiency by writing 1 minus regenerator efficiency. Even for QS, MRTH ln of RC plus MCVT3 minus T2, 1 minus regenerator efficiency. Considering this equation 1 and 2, substituting, we finally get it thermal efficiency as this. So this is about the Stirling engine cycle and working condition for thermal efficiency when we consider regenerator and without regenerator. The formulas, you should be very careful. So in the problems they give, how it comes, problems comes with regenerator and without regenerator. When it is without regenerator, this is the formula you have to use. When it is with regenerator, see, observe, when it is with regenerator, the formula you have to use this. These are the two formulas that gives you with regenerator and without regenerator thermal efficiency. Now let us solve one or two problems of Stirling cycle with regenerator and without regenerator. So usually in the examination, the problems of Stirling cycle is 99% rare, 1% you can expect, and 99.5% you can expect the problems on diesel and auto or dual. These three cycles. In these three cycles, two cycle derivation, two cycle problems will come. What are those? Auto, diesel, dual. These three derivation, in that two will come. Auto, diesel, dual. In these three problems, any two problems will come. So mainly more concentrate on the three cycles, auto, diesel, dual, and even the problems on auto, diesel, dual. Whatever the question paper starting from 2000 to 2020, you take it out, you can observe compulsory question of auto, diesel, dual, problems on auto, diesel, dual. Stirling cycle, one time or one of the complementary exams you might know, in that time they have asked the Stirling cycle derivation, even not the problems. So always morely concentrate on the three types: auto, diesel, dual problems, auto, diesel, dual conditions of problems. So what the numerical says, numerical is in an A standard Stirling cycle with 100% regenerator. See, observe, 100% regenerator means they have used the regenerator, very important. The pressure and temperature of the working medium at the beginning of isothermal compression are 100 kilopascal. Beginning of isothermal compression is one condition, given is a pressure, so P1, and 300 Kelvin, T1. Subsequently, heat addition constant volume raises the pressure and temperature. So heat addition occurs at constant volume is 2 to 3 process, raises the pressure. Raising the pressure is P3, 15 bar, and 900 Kelvin, it is T3, 900 Kelvin. So the cycle is completed through an isothermal expansion. Isothermal expansion occurs and constant volume heat rejection. Analyze each end of the four processes for the work and heat transfer and determine engine efficiency. We have to calculate the engine efficiency. How do I find out? I say, observe, regenerator efficiency is 100%, P1, T1, whatever the data I told, it has been taken. We have to find out Q and as well as work done. How do I find out the Q? Q can be found out in all the process, that is heat rejection occurs, heat supply occurs, heat rejection occurs, heat supply occurs in all the four process that we have written. First, what is 1 to 2? During compression, it takes out the heat into the regenerator, so it is a heat rejection. The formula is MRT1 ln of V1 by V2. So V1 by V2 is what? V1 by V2 is a what we call it as V1 by V2 is a compression ratio RC. But V1 by V2 we don't know. So therefore PV is equal to MRT equation for 1 to 2 process. I can write P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 because isothermal temperature is constant. So P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. We can write P1 by P2 by P1 is equal to V1 by V2. So what is P2 by P1? Is it P2 by P1 is given? P1 is given. What about P2? We don't know. We have to find it out. So how do I find out P2? That I go for 2 to 3 process. PV is equal to MRT equation it is. So constant volume it is. So volume is constant. P divided by T. P2 by T2. P3 by T3. P3 is given. T3 is given. T2 is given. Substitute all. We get a V2 value. So once P2 value is calculated, substitute to the so in this P2 and P1 are known. So P2 is 5 bar, P1 is 100, so it is 1 bar. So is equal to V1 by V2. V1 by V2 you get it as a 5. Substitute 5 over here and you get all the values. QR is equal to work done, that is 138.5 kilojoule. Next, QS 2 to 3, where we have to find out heat supply in the second condition. Heat supply at constant volume MCV T3 minus T2. T3 is known, T2 is known, all the values are known. M, if they are not given, you have to assume it as 1. They have assumed it as 1. CV is constant, 0.71 weight. Substituting, you get in the QS 2 to 3, 430.8. So next, how do you calculate Q in 3 to 4 process? So what about the work done? In isothermal, heat supply or heat rejection is nothing but work done. What happens at constant volume work done? See, if the volume is constant, the work done is 0. You know it from the basic thermodynamics, from the basic part of the thermodynamics. So that's why during all constant volume process, the work done is constant. Writing down that work done 2 to 3 process is 0. Next, I go for 3 to 4 process, isothermal expansion. What is isothermal expansion? In isothermal expansion, you know the formula of heat addition. So substitute that. All the values is known. V4 by V3 is nothing but V1 by V2. As from the previous PV diagram, we get the QS and that is equal to work. What is constant volume heat rejection? At constant volume heat rejection, work done is 0. So next, the formula is MCV T4 minus T1. Taking on that, we get a Q4 to 1 as 430.8 kilojoule. Lastly, finally, we have to find out 1 minus TL by TH. So where lower temperature to the higher temperature. So that can be written over here with the thermal efficiency 0.66, which is nothing but 66%. So this is how the problems is very simple in the Stirling engine, as there are only 4 processes. That 4 processes equal the same 4 problems, so 4 formulas. The same over here it is being used, and way of calculation is also same. Finally, in some of the problem they are used to as calculate the thermal efficiency with regenerator and without regenerator. With regenerator is this formula. When we want to find out without regenerator, the without regenerator formula, just we had used that without regenerator formula you have to use and complete this thermal efficiency. So no more other differences. You have we are considering QS 2 3 to 4, QS 1 to 2, adding up of this, substituting over here, you get a thermal efficiency. This is the difference between with regenerator and without regenerator. Rather than all the problems related to Stirling cycle is of same. So for this point of cycle, this completes your air standard cycle or gas power cycle.